Hello everyone, welcome to another brand new Upgrade Your OET Reading Part B style practice with me, your teacher Sona. In today's practice session, we're going to be looking at some examples of everyday, real, authentic English and how they can be used as a reading practice for you if you're studying for your OET. Just to remind you that about the OET reading section, it comes together with reading part C, and together that makes up 45 minutes of your time. For B itself, we recommend you spend between 10 and 12 minutes answering 6 questions. That's because you'll need much longer. You'll need about 35 minutes to answer part C. But back to part B for the moment. As I said, you will get 6 questions, and these are about 6 short, unconnected workplace texts. And that's what I've picked out for you today, some everyday, authentic workplace texts. And the extracts are about 100 to 150 words long. These can be something like chaperone instructions on a notice board, they could be emails, or they could be safety instructions from manuals. The questions themselves are multiple choice. Each text has 1 question with 3 options. And the type of question you might get could be an incomplete sentence or a question and you choose the answer. In the test, what you have to do is select the best option by shading in whichever letter you think is correct. Now, the technique here is to maximize your efficiency. Remember, you've only got 2 minutes per text. So what I would do here is read the context, understand if it's a notice on a board or an email or safety instructions from a manual. Understand what it is. What is the context? Then read the text and understand it and look at the question prompt. They will give you that at the beginning. Look for any qualifying words, an absolute, something like all or must, etc. And you should also do this in the questions themselves. But once you've looked at the question prompt, try and answer it in your own way from your reading of the text. Once you've got your own idea, then and only then look at the options and choose the best one. You may need to go back to the text and check and eliminate or confirm, but first of all, answer it yourself and then look at the options. Don't look at the options to begin with, because then things tend to get a little bit confusing. So let's have a practice then. These next couple of extracts are from an email to vaccinator applicants. You may remember, if you've watched some of these videos yourself, that I myself applied to be a vaccinator here in the UK. I didn't have any medical training. All I've done is I'm a teacher, as many of you know. I'm a premium preparation provider of the OET, but I thought it'd be really nice to train to be a vaccinator because, of course, we need lots of people to be able to deliver the vaccination program. So I do all my training and I use some of the training material in some of the previous quizzes, so do have a look at that if you haven't had a chance to already. And I found some more material. This was from an email they sent to me. And what I'd like you to do, first of all, is just spend some time reading this extract from the email and try and answer this question in your own words. The email extract explains that, and you're trying to tell me, what does it explain? Your preparation time starts now. Okay, so time's up. So, as I say, spend about a minute just becoming familiar with the text itself. What does it say then? So, it says that the program has been flexible and thousands of staff, current staff, were trained to deliver the vaccine. Then they recruited more people, like myself, and that's been very successful too. But thanks to this action, the NHS has had sufficient staff, so there's been more than enough people to deliver the doses. And more than half of all adults in the UK, it's April now, have had at least one dose. So, this is an important milestone. This is a huge event for us. And this email says that they have now reviewed the recruitment pipeline. So, they are checking again whether they need more staff. So, the extract really is explaining what's happened up to date, what's happened with the vaccination programme up until April 2021. So then we look at the options that have been given to us and we see which one best matches our own idea. So the extract explains that the vaccination programme has been successful in its rollout. Yes, it has been. It has been delayed due to the lack of staff, or it has been halted. Halted, of course, means stopped. So, which one do you think it is? It is, of course, A, because we know it's been immensely successful. So, definitely A. So, can you see by getting an understanding of the text yourself to begin with will help you choose the correct option much more quickly? Let's try another one. Again, it's another extract from the same email. According to the extract, there is something. 1 minute to try and answer in your own words what there is. Okay, so according to the extract, there is no need for further workforce at this time, and your application will therefore not be progressed. This may be disappointing, but there are other options here. So I could click on this form to express an interest in any other options. So there is no need for any further vaccinators, no further workforce at this time, a great need to employ more vaccinators, or a problem with the vaccinator training program. What do you think it is? It is, of course, A. There is no need for any further vaccinators. And to be perfectly honest, I was so disappointed because this was an email to me and I'd done all my training. So I was really happy because I had my core knowledge to be a vaccinator. So I completed all the training for that, but unfortunately, they didn't need me, which is actually great because it also means that the vaccination program is rolling out in a fantastic manner. So I'm very proud of that. But yes, unfortunately, you won't see me as a vaccinator. Some of you may say that's not a bad thing, but yes, great news that the program's going okay. Okay, another email for you, and this time it's a purpose email. So, the purpose of the email is to 1 minute to try and answer this in your own words. Okay, so what is the purpose of this email then? So it's saying that you are registered for the Software Asset Management Awareness training. To get started, I need to click on this link, and more information about the course, including the description, etc., is available on the course page. So this is some kind of software program training, which all staff obviously have to do. So the purpose of the email is to tell me, basically, do it. You're registered, so please do it. So is it to remind staff to complete the training, to warn staff to disengage all pop-ups on their work email, or to remind staff to allow pop-ups? So there was something about pop-ups, if you remember, it's here. Reminder, if you have not done so already, turn off your pop-up blockers so you can launch Pearson U courses. So turn off, disengage all pop-ups on their work email. Well, I'm not sure if it's all pop-ups really, or to allow pop-ups really. That's an interesting one. I think it's more about reminding me to complete this training. The purpose isn't about these pop-up blockers, it's actually to make me do the course. That's the purpose. So just be careful, because you may find similar ideas in the actual email itself, but always go back to the question, what was the purpose? What was the main reason somebody sent that to me? Just before we go on to the next three, a quick reminder to please press like if you are enjoying these videos, share it with a friend or colleague, and subscribe to us so you can always know when our next quiz or reading practice comes up. Okay, we have another extract here. According to the extract, it is essential for staff, blah, blah, blah. A minute to read and try and understand and answer this yourself. Okay, so this was about COVID guidance for maintaining services within healthcare settings, and this was all about administration measures for the pathway. You'll know it's a manual because we have an extract number here. So what is it essential for staff to do? They have to establish patient pathways to minimise contact. Okay, so we want to minimise contact between staff and patients. Maybe providing separate entrances or exits if they're available, using one-way systems, clear signage, restricting communal areas, and then we have some more ideas here. For example, care areas such as a GP practice or care home may designate self-contained areas for patients at high risk or medium risk. As a minimum, in smaller facilities or primary care, physical or temporal separation of patients at high risk is important. So if anyone has a high risk patient, they should be separated. So what does the extract say it is essential for staff to do? Isolate all patients. So remember, I said look for these absolutes, all, always. For example, isolate all patients. Does it say we have to isolate all patients? Does it say we always use a different entrance and exit? Or does it say minimize contact between pathways? So according to the extract, it is essential Staff must isolate all patients? No. We don't need to isolate all patients, it's just patients at high risk. Always use a different entrance and exit? Well, that's not very practical, is it? They may not be separate entrances or exits. It's only if available, so it can't be always. Minimize contact pathways, yes, that makes sense. So just be careful. Try to minimize that interaction as much as possible to stop the potential spread of the virus. Another one for you, again, it's from the same document. This time, the extract from the policy document about PPE sets out the something. What does it set out? So here we have, for the purpose of the document, the term personal protective equipment is used to describe products or devices that are approved by the Health and Safety Executive and the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency as protective solutions. Okay, local or national uniform policy should be considered. So we have PPE, we have two bodies who have authorised it, and then we have something about uniforms here. So basically it's setting out the terms, isn't it? It's setting out who the HSE is, who the MHRA is, and what PPE is. So sets out the reason for using PPE. Does it tell us why we should use it? No. Does it give us a definition of PPE? Yes, it tells us what it is. Let's just double check. See, standards of uniform staff are expected to maintain. No, it just tells us that uniform policy should be considered. So the answer is B in this case. Okay, last one coming up for you. What do guidelines say about cleaning? Your minute starts now. Okay, so here we have, during the pandemic, the frequency of cleaning both the environment and equipment should be increased to at least twice daily. Okay, and we've got some examples here. Touch points such as doors, handles, etc., and shared toilets they give you as an example. If there is a low risk pathway, organisations may choose just to use normal detergents as opposed to instead of widespread detergents, disinfectants, apart from when you're dealing with blood and body fluids, when a chlorine releasing agent or alternative should be used. So it says basically some various things about cleaning. All areas should be cleaned using a chlorine releasing agent. So remember that was here. But is it about all areas? No, it's just blood and body fluid items. All areas and equipment should be cleaned at least twice a day. Yes. Toilets should be cleaned every hour. Well, they do talk about toilets, but every hour? No, they don't mention that. So definitely not C. A, no, because it's not all, so it is B. Well then, I hope you liked this little practice of OET style questions. Remember, use the information you have with you in your workplaces. Do things like this. Try and get to the purpose of what these things are saying. If you do want more practice, have a look at our on-demand courses. They are for medicine, speaking and writing. I've also got one for nurses now, speaking, and there's one for reading, which is suitable for all professions. You'll find all the information in the box below. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. See you again next time. Bye bye.